The Constitution 2010, after its promulgation, everything else that existed before it ceases to make sense, ceases to exist, because we are now operating under the new Constitution with a different set of how we're doing business. The Constitution says anything else that contradicts this Constitution is null and void, right? That's what it is. So there is no way then in 2026 we would see that we're operating with a Public Order Act of 1953. That would be individuals who have refused to accept change, individuals who have refused to implement the Constitution. And that then brings me to political goodwill when it comes to the implementation of Constitution and ensuring that these rights that Kenyans have granted themselves through the Constitution are actually enjoyed. Because you've said that you collaborate with the government, right? And with collaboration with the government, there are instances where collaborating with government would be very difficult because things that you are calling out are things that you're seeing the government doing. In such instances where even in your collaboration you find it difficult, what discussions do you have? Do you call them out privately? How do you go about it? If you've said, as opposed to what many know is NGOs usually fight with the government and everything, you collaborate with the government to change situations. In this instance that you're talking about, a law in existence that is in contravention with the Constitution, how do you go about it?
Thank you. First of all, the collaboration with the government takes so many aspects.
So many aspects, yeah.
Even calling them out in a press is some sort of collaboration, in my own view. Because you're telling someone that, look, you have not been able to do this. Can you be able to handle this and move it forward? It's a sort of collaboration because you're giving me the information that perhaps either I didn't have or I had, but I had slept on it. And that's good. But the main one is in terms of developing some of these policies that say that this is the area where we are. For example, the Ministry of Interior in 2024 August gazetted a national task force, that is a steering force that is supposed to oversee the review of these acts, including that Public Order Act. That steering force was gazetted in August 2024 with a 9 months
deadline.
Yes. Within those 9 months, they did zero. It ended. Then that 9 months again, they were added another 9 months, which comes to an end in end of June. We are barely 2 months away. As we speak today, very little has happened. We have had a lot of collaborations and meetings, and of course saying that we need to draft some of these things. From August up to date, we haven't been able to see some of these things. So when we sit with them in the meetings, of course, and government calls some of us in these meetings, and when we sit with them, we realize that they have got their own timelines. But unfortunately, those timelines are not met. And then they will come up, of course, and say that we didn't meet these timelines, but we have another timeline. We are saying we will have these drafts by this particular time. Again, that timeline is not met. So, of course, as outsiders or civil society, we can do very little other than just persuading. It is the body's right at their court, and is their baby they're supposed to know.
Would you say that based off that explanation that there is political goodwill in ensuring that these things are achieved? Because for government to operate, there has to be political goodwill. Like if you say we're going to achieve this in 9 months, then let 9 months be 9 months. Fact that nothing happened within the first 9 months, then you're giving ourselves a second 10 year, another 9 months. And as we speak right now, June is just around the corner. And little has been done. Would you say there is political goodwill in achieving what the Constitution of Kenya 2010 wants?
And it's down to that, because and when you say that, they say that we fight government. But of course, as I said, governments use some of these laws to manage politics. We are going into the year 2027 general elections, and of course, from what we are seeing right now, there's a lot of polarization. There are a lot of incidences of violence, which we are calling out and saying that we do not need this. You remember in 2004, Honorable Ruku, the then member of parliament for Mbeere North, the current cabinet secretary
for public service,
introduced a bill in Parliament called Assemblies and Demonstrations Bill. And that bill was even more barbaric than the Public Order Act. And it had even said that for you to be able to demonstrate or to protest, these are the guidelines. And those guidelines were extremely unconstitutional. They contravened the guidelines that the Constitution gave. When he was appointed to the cabinet, that bill failed, of course. Honorable, the current women rep for Nairobi,
Esther
Passaris, developed another idea of that was something like complementing the Ruku bill. And in fact, at that particular time, she was saying that for you to protest, we will designate
areas of protesting,
that the government is the one to designate. They can actually tell you, if you want to protest today, you go to Karura Forest.
Or Machakos.
Or you go to Garissa. So somewhere where you're supposed to protest. You're not supposed to pass here, you're not supposed to go here. Then they even said that when you're protesting, it should be some meters, I think 100 meters from certain installations. Again, more barbaric than even the Ruku one. And we say that those attempts point to the political goodwill. That we need politicians at that particular time who are not playing ball to safeguard themselves, but those politicians who are playing ball to protect Kenyans. Is this a right for Kenyans? Yes. Are you able to pass it? Because today, Honorable Passaris will be a member of Parliament. Next year, she might not be. Then what happens when she's a common mwananchi like me and you? How will she be able to present her petition when she's aggrieved?
She'll have to go to Machakos.
She'll have to go to Machakos. Will she agree to that? So we need to have a situation where everyone plays ball. That we are making a law today that will serve you tomorrow. And you will not feel infringed by that particular law when you're told protest in Machakos.